Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I am D Designs. I'm new here and I'll be bringing you a lot of exciting videos on different styles, how to cut new designs and how to sew them like a pro. Today I'll be teaching you guys how to cut and sew this trending boubou with a big bow at the front and a rope across the neckline at the back. I'll be using an Ankara fabric of 4 yards and a doll face brass satin of ½ yard. So sit back, relax and enjoy. At this point, if you are not yet subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, like, share, comment, share your questions. I will do well to answer them. I started out by cutting 16 inches of my fabrics 2 times. My client's full length is 58 plus 2 inches allowance, that makes it 60. So I cut 60 twice. I folded both into 2 and I placed them on themselves and arranged them properly, as you see me doing in the video. I marked a neck width of 3 inches, then I went to the other side, marked 1.5 downwards and created a shoulder slope. I marked a neck depth of 8 inches, then I connected the 3 inches to the 8 inches with a straight ruler to make a V-neck shape. From the shoulder slope, I marked 11 inches downward for the sleeve opening. Then across the bust side, I marked 15 inches, and that 15 inches I marked it downward. Then I connected that sleeve opening to that 15 inches using a curve. You can use a curve and you can use your hand to make a curve. Then I kept marking 15 inches all through. I kept marking 15 inches all through. Then I ruled a straight line to straighten it up. That means I did my bust divided by 4 plus 6 inches. My bust is 36, 36 divided by 4 is 9 plus 6 inches making 15. And that was what I ruled down, and I'm going to use 1 inch for the sewing allowance. All of them are together with that 15. Then I proceeded to cut it out. I forgot to record the back part. For the back part I still used a neck width of 3 inches and a neck depth of 10 inches. So for yours you can use 11, 12 if you want it to be very deep, but for mine I use 10 inches because I don't want it to be very deep. For the bow at the front, the big bow at the front, I used a length of 11 inches and 13 inches width on fold. Please unfold. I did it on fold and I'm trying to show you what it looks like. So when you gather it, you make a big bow out of it. You can make yours bigger than this actually. So for the first rope, I used a width of 4 inches or 4.5 inches. Then I used a length of 34 inches for the first rope. Unfold, please unfold. We are going to be using 2 ropes. So for the second rope, I use a width of the same 4.5 inch. I use a width of same 4.5 inch and a length of 18 inches. So 4.5 inches and 18 inches, and that was all. So for the lining piece, this is what I did. I picked out the lining. I used a normal lining that you used to know. You can use any lining of your choice. So I used a normal lining and I placed my fabric on it and I cut out a V-neck side. Then I went ahead to mark 5 inches down after that V side. Then I just rolled it and you can see what I did here. So just do as I do. Yes, just roll it the way I rolled it, so that it's going to relax when you finish sewing it. Then I proceeded to cut it out. I did same for the back too. So when you place it on it now, you will have to just go ahead to your sewing machine to sew it. So for the rope at the back, I used a width of 2 inches and a length of I think 14 inches. I proceeded to sew that V part. Then I kept it aside. I picked this long rope and you see the way I cut it, because I forgot to cut it on the table. I cut it like to make a V shape at the edge, to make that V shape you used to see at the edge of belts. So I proceeded to sew it. And turn it. And then for the big bow, I picked the 2 edges of that 13 inches part, not the 11 inches part, the 13 inches part. Then I proceeded to sew it down, right side facing each other. And then I created an opening in the middle part so that when I sew it, I will be able to turn it over to the right side. Please just watch what I'm doing. So I moved the side that I first sewed to the middle. I shifted it to the middle. Then I picked both edges. I sew it. I sew both edges. So that opening I created at the middle is what we're going to be using to turn our bow to the right side. Please do well to just watch what I am doing as I do it. Just watch what I'm doing. I just sewed both edges. Then the opening I created in the middle, I'm going to use it to turn it to the right side. Then I'll use my scissors to push the edges out so that it's going to be straight. Just watch what I am doing. So after pushing the edges out, this is what it looks like. That sewn part is in the middle, then the edges are sewn. Then you see what it looks like. After that, I brought my v-neck to the ironing board. Then before that, after I sewed the v-neck, I gave it good notches so that it's going to come out neat and fine. Then you iron it properly. Then you fold all the edges a little bit, like half inch in. You fold all the edges a little bit and you iron it properly. Just fold it the way I'm doing, then iron it properly. Then you use hemming gum to gum it. Use hemming gum to put it down and gum it so that it's going to be relaxed. You only need to maybe tack it. If you don't have hemming gum, you can tack it, or even with this hemming gum, you can proceed to tack it if you are feeling like the hemming gum is not going to last long. So using the hemming gum makes it very neat. Just use your hemming gum the way I'm using it. Then use water on it so that it can gum well. Then place your iron on it. So your v-neck should be looking this neat when you're done. Your v-neck should be as neat as this one is looking when you are done. Very relaxed, and the V should be sharp. So now you're going to go ahead to iron those belts or ropes and the bow piece. When you're done ironing it, then go over to that shoulder part, measure 4 inches away from that neck width. Then place your belt on it, the long one that has 34 inches, the long one of 34 inches. Place it on it and place it in a way that it is going to be slanty. It is going to be slanty, like the way the V is slant, that's the way it's going to be slanty. Then measure 14 inches, then mark that 14 inches. Then I went ahead to use my chalk to mark out the lines where the belt is going to stay, because I am going to be using my hemming gum there and I want to know exactly where to place the hemming gum so that it's going to be relaxed. So I placed my hemming gum there very close to the lines and I stopped on that 14 inches part. Then I proceeded to add water, sprinkle water on it, and I placed my hot iron on it. Don't allow your iron to be too hot so that it won't burn your fabric. So I placed the iron on it in such a way that it is going to gum that belt for me down, so that when I take it to the machine it will be easy to sew. Because if I want to use spinner and I take it to the machine, it won't be easy to sew. I tried it but it didn't work for me. So under that part that you stop, where you stopped putting the hemming gum, raise your belt up. That's the 34 inches belt. Raise it up, then place the 18 inches belt down. And see the way I placed it in such a way that it is going different way, so that it won't be under themselves when you're done, so that it will be like the belt are going, you really tie the belt. So just place it down there, trust the process, just place it under that 34 inches zone, then use your hemming gum on it, then sew those lines. Just watch as I sew the lines. Then I proceeded to make a bow, because if I want to place the bow on the belt directly, it is not going to work for me like that. So I used a rope to tie it down, to tie the bow, to make a bow. I tied it in the middle, as you see me doing, so that when I want to place it, it will be easy for me to place it under those belts. It will not be scattering. I proceeded to sew on the belt. Make sure you sew it to that 14 inches where you stopped. Make sure it is on 14 inches, or you can even go below 14 inches, but I want that bow to be pointing towards the v-neck when I am done. That is why I stopped at 14 inches. I want my bow to be pointing towards the v-neck. That is why I stopped at 14 inches. Proceeded to sew it. Okay, I am done sewing it, and I simply raised up that 34 inches belt first. Then I placed the bow under the 34 inches belt. That means it's going to be sitting on the 18 inches. Then I place it under 34 inches. Then I put the 34 inches belt down to cover it up. Then make sure your bow is pointing towards the v-neck. If you have watched to this point and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do well to subscribe, like and share, follow for more. Drop your question in the comment section. I will answer you. Arrange it very well, because we are going to be sewing it at the end of that bow. We are going to be sewing it at the end of that bow. Arrange it well the way you see me doing. Make sure that your bow is pointing towards the v-neck. Place your bow under the 34 inches and the 18 inches will be coming under the bow. I hope you understand. Then you will sew it on both sides. Sew it on that side you see me touching, then up at the top of the bow again you sew it, then you tack it all around. Make sure you tack it all around. I proceeded to sew mine. Can you see it? Make sure that the belts are not under themselves directly, so that it's going to be giving that tying effect as though you tied it. Okay, so arrange it properly and tack it all around. You see, our design is coming to life. It's very beautiful already. I proceeded to tack it, those edges. I started tacking it. So spread it very well. Spread your bow. Make sure it is well arranged properly the way you would want it to be. Then begin to tack it all around. After that, I proceeded to the back part. I already sew it, so I remember that I was going to put this rope. Then I marked 1.5 inches from the shoulder part. I mark 1.5 inches from the shoulder part, and on the other side, so I mark 1.5 inches. Then I went down by 1 inch. That is where our rope is going to be staying. I marked 1 inch on both sides. After that 1.5 inch, mark 1 inch on both sides. Then I loosen the place I have sewn, that chalk part, that place, the both chalk parts. I loosen it up. I started to loosen it up so that my rope can stay inside. I know you get what I'm saying. so I loosened it up and I went back to my machine to tack it properly, so that when I fix my rope it won't be losing unnecessarily. I went to tack it properly. And also don't forget to notch it all around, especially at that sharp V point. Make sure to notch it, and don't notch it in such a way that it will not enter into what you have sewn. No, just notch it carefully so that when you turn it, it is going to be relaxed. So you see what I'm doing there. I mark 1.5 inch first from the shoulder part, then I mark 1 inch where my rope will be staying. Okay, when I was done, I turned it back. That's the lining part. I turned it back and I ironed it very well. You see the way I cut my lining, the way I cut the first lining, that's the way I cut this one too. Then the rope, I went ahead to sew it by 1/2 inch. You see me ironing it. I ironed the V part. The rope, I already sewed it by 1/2 inch and I already turned it to the right side. So this was how I fixed my rope. It will be facing the wrong side. Can you see it? Then I fixed it into that 1 inch part that I did not sew. I fixed it into that 1 inch part that I did not sew. I also fixed the second one to see my results outcome. So the more you spread the V-neck, the more the rope is going to be looking long. So I want you to make sure that the V-neck is relaxed exactly the way you cut it. We cut it with a width of 3 inches. So it's supposed to be 6 inches width. I want you to relax that V part so that when you wear it, it won't be bulging at the back. Relax it, make sure it is relaxed. Then go ahead to sew it. Sew it the way it is moving with the V. Sew it on both sides. When I'm done, I'll come back to show you what it looks like. I am done sewing it, and this is what it looks like. I ironed it, then I fold in all part of the lining. I fold it in by 1/2 inch or 0.75. Then I went ahead to use my hemming gum to gum it, and this was the outcome. Very neat. It was very neat. The outcome was so fine. Then I placed the front part on it. Please don't mind me. I'm supposed to place it right side facing each other. I placed the front part on it and I sewed the shoulder part. And because I'm going to be using weaving machine for all part of the dress, so I didn't bother myself to use my lining to turn it. I just sew it straight. So I'm going to be weaving all part of this dress inside. I'll be doing an inner weaving. For the sleeve part, I cut 2 inches on fold, that's making 4 inches, and I added it to that sleeve part to give me length for the sleeve part. I just joined it to it. You know the way we attach our satin to the edge of dresses, to the edge of boubou. That's what I did. Then when I was done, I realized that it would be more beautiful when I put a bow at the back too. So I make a bow exactly the way I make the front one. I make a bow for the back, and this is the result. This is what it looks like. Although the bow at the back is way smaller than the one at the front, so I went ahead to join every part of this cloth, and this is the result. This is the outcome. It looks so beautiful. Please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, do well to subscribe, like, share, follow for more. Support me. And if you have any question, please do well to drop your questions and I will answer them on this particular dress, and even any dress you have question on. So I was so happy here, giggling and smiling because my dress came out so nice. This is the other one I made. I've made 3 of these dresses beautifully. Love you all. See you in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching.